Okay, so this is a special recorded session of the business writing through the Brave Healer Writers Circle. And we typically don't record every single regular session. I do this every single month, you guys. So come and join. If you haven't yet, it's worth it. It's going to be fun. So hopefully if you're watching the replay, you're getting a lot of good golden nuggets about your copywriting. You're writing to express your business, who you are, what you do to the world to bring more business into your world, right? And that could mean that you're describing a free offering or a paid offering, or it means you want someone to read your blog, or maybe you're writing copy for your YouTube video show notes, or maybe you're writing a book, or right? Like I could go on and on with all of the ways copywriting is in your world as a business owner. It's on your sales pages, on your website. It is on your Facebook social posts. It's everywhere, right? So I will just start today by asking all of you beautiful people who showed up today, who has a question, like something you're working on and you want to talk about it and workshop it a little bit today. Anybody come with some burning question? I love it when nobody raises their hand. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do for the two people who actually, here comes one of them. So maybe we'll wait for Lulu to pop in here because one of the questions was Lulu's. Hello, Miss Lulu.
Hello.
We were talking about you a minute ago.
Hi.
Hey, so you are one of the two people who submitted a question for today's session. And so far, my guys and gals here don't have a question. So I'm actually going to use yours and the other one to go first here. So thanks for popping in.
Right.
And they kind of go together, which was interesting. So I'm going to get to Lulu's second, and I'm going to read Terry's first. So she says to me, how do you keep your copy from sliding into forced happiness jargon? A lot of what comes across my email feed makes me cringe, and yet there's a lot of it. It's so I asked her for a little clarification by forced happiness, right? And so she came back and she said, it's that stuff that you read that says, this is the answer you've been waiting for, kind of thing. Those were her words. Okay. And I totally get what she's talking about and appreciated the question very much. So I'm actually going to give you the answer I gave her, and then we can talk about it. Maybe you guys want to add another question to this. So this first piece of it you may not want to hear. Now remember, I'm answering her question. So I said, firstly, you do have the answer I've been waiting for someone very specific, your perfect ideal client, but you don't have everyone's answer. You guys with me so far? So I don't like, I have everyone's answer. I have the answer of the world for everybody. I don't like that language. It's not true anyway. I also don't like, I have the $1,000,000 blueprint. Holy moly. How many times have you seen this out there? Like, come do my thing because then you're going to be a millionaire. I've got the blueprint, right? Okay, but here's what I do like. Copywriting that is so specific to my problem that out of all of the coaches I could hire, you are the one I want to hire because you get it. The reason I know you get it is that you're not saying this is the answer you've been waiting for. You're sharing specific story instead, which is partly how you solved your own problem and found the answer when you were going through whatever it was, right? So here's Laura's version, okay, about what Laura does. So you might be saying, if you're a healer professional and have been in practice for a while, you know you have a story that matters, that's world changing, but have been feeling that imposter syndrome in the form of something like, I don't think this is going to be good enough, or who's going to be interested in this. Then I can help you write and publish a book that will help you leave your legacy in the world and build your community and business. So I would, if I was making that my copywriting, I probably would have shared a personal story about writing my first book included in this and making all the mistakes, actually hating that first book I published, like so much so that I wouldn't read it. That's real, you guys, for me. Right. So back to Terry's question. You're right, Terry. I don't like any of those kinds of messages either, but the way that you change it is to get personal, get specific, and talk directly to the person, not all people. It is the love letter exercise, you guys. Every single person here, I think, might have been through that exercise with me. It's actually being able to write that letter to the specific person, and you actually have a name and a face in your mind when you're writing that. So, so hopefully that helps Terry and all of you to think about that a little bit. But Lulu, I loved your question because it was very, very similar. And Lulu says, what pointers do you have about copywriting to appeal to a larger audience as well as it enticing your ideal client? So, Lulu, I would have given you the whole same lecture I just talked about, because if you're trying to appeal to a much larger audience, what may happen is you go bland in your copywriting all of a sudden, because, but if you, Lulu, can stay specific and personal with personal story that hits the hearts and souls of a bigger audience, good for you. How do you do it? I do have an answer for that getting your eyes on a bigger audience. And I don't know if it's the answer you were looking for, so we can discuss this a little bit. But when I did I'm a certified content marketer through Smart Blogger. You guys, John Morrow and Smart Blogger have incredible copywriting programs, and I have taken almost everything he's offered. And when we get set up to write for our audience, he says there are 3 topics, and this is how you would appeal to a bigger audience, Lulu. You're either talking about money, health, or relationships. There they are, the 3. Because if you start to go sideways into something that's less general, then you're not maybe appealing to the wider audience. If you want to appeal to a wider audience, hit on money, health, or relationships. And now there's a lot of subtopics in those 3, right? Lots and lots of ways you can go and hone it into your lane of what you do. So at Lulu, for you, it would be an easy no-brainer to do either health or relationships. Yeah. Money also, though, but maybe that would be third up for you, right? So I think the second part of the answer is how do you appeal to that larger audience is you do have to hook them in about the problem they have. And if you want to talk to more people, how are you going to do that without knowing that problem that they have? So I'm just going to go back to really understanding the ideal client. Maybe you want to talk to more people, but I don't think the solution is to change your personal stories and niche of the way you're talking to people. I think it's the same answer. I actually think the solution to your problem is how Where, how are you getting the message out to more eyes? I don't think it's about changing your copywriting, Lulu. I think it's how you're sharing. What platforms are you on? Are your people with bigger email lists sharing for you? I think that's how you get more eyes on your stuff. Right. But go ahead, Lulu.
Muted.
Yeah, she's in her car, I think. You're muted, my dear, still. Let me see if this helps you. I'm going to press the little button. Nope, you got your camera turned around.
Okay, did that do it?
There we go. Yeah, you're with us.
I was specifically, when I asked that question, I was thinking of, I did something, and I can't remember what it is now. It's not Myers-Briggs, but it was through Tony Robbins. Whatever the questionnaire you do, it's kind of one of those major things.
Uh-huh.
And then it was saying that, even if I say Myers-Briggs, how do you appeal that you actually do have a sentence in there that's great for an ENTF, and how do you have a sentence that's good for an IN, FP or whatever?
Yes.
So it's kind of like sometimes it's just a one or two sentences that kind of can draw other people that normally wouldn't maybe look at your stuff. So I was thinking, like, I don't want to just be working with everyone that's like a Lulu, like
Yeah.
I want to be working with different, people as well. So that was kind of where that question came
So
from.
thank you for that, because I will share, I think it's in our authors group, but I have to just go find it for you. We interviewed Sage, I think it's Levine, and she did a special guest expert workshop on exactly this. And she showed us the formula of how to get those things into the blog, let's say, or the sales page. And she covered, I think, 4 different things to include to capture all the personalities. That feels so overwhelming to me sometimes that it blocks my creative flow, because then I'm thinking too hard about what extra thing I'm supposed to be putting in here for this person or that person. But she really covered that in a great way. Do you remember that? Do you need me to find it for you?
Yeah, I'd love to see that again.
Okay.
And yeah, and that's kind of how I felt. It's like, oh, geez, I'm just going to stick to this because, I can't kind of bring that in. And, that got more complex than just making it like really personal, for the ideal client. And
Correct.
yeah, and I've got 2 more minutes, so I'm going to head off because I got to
Okay,
have.
I will I'll go find that and tag you or send it to you. No worries.
Thank you so much.
Yep,
Appreciate it.
that'll
Okay.
help.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Zora.
It was a really great workshop, and there were lots of eye-opening pointers about what you could include to cover capturing. And then really she talked about like how people consume the content, visual, um, written, all the different ways. So it was good. It was a little overwhelming, but it was good. I mean, like she's a copywriter and she makes a living copywriting. Her presentation makes you feel like you need to hire a copywriter. I mean, right? I mean, so that's kind of a a duh. But there were some golden nuggets in there. So if I can find it, I'll repost it in the right habit for you guys, and you guys can you can all go watch, get some nuggets from that. Yeah, Anthony.
So I'm a novice. This is new for me. And I am at a basic level where I'm trying to understand copywriting a little bit more clearly. And are we talking about advertising and targeting specific audiences with copywriting? Because I thought there were some legal implications in regards to copywriting.
A copyright, like you see in the beginning of our book, copyright 2025 Brave Healer Productions, is not what we're talking about. It's not a legal thing. Copywriting, writing copy is what we're talking about. Copy just means words that build my business. So like we're working on copywriting. It's a kind of writing. It's like saying fiction writing. And it's such a great question because so many people don't have any idea what I'm saying when I say copywriting. So thank you for making me answer that. It's the words we are writing to express who we are and what we do to the world in a way that brings them into our world, that attracts engagement and clicks and purchases and platform building things that we're working on. It's the way that you relate to your audience on a heart and soul level, the stories you tell that bring them into your world. What I really think of my copywriting as storytelling, honestly. Can I share a story that helps my ideal clients understand I am their gal when it comes to writing and publishing and all the things I do? So, Anthony, like you could take your chapter from Shaman Heart and you could take pieces, you could pull quotes out of there and you could say, guys, here's a little teaser piece of my story, but if you want to read the whole thing, come buy the book over here. That little teaser piece is copywriting. Like you're going to give people a little blurb of it. You're going to talk to me in your writing, me, your perfect ideal reader or client. You're talking to me. That's all you're doing. And so Lulu's like, how do I get more eyes on it? The reason I feel like we got to be careful there is because when we start to talk to everyone in the world, because we do want all the clients, don't we? We start to talk to no one. The broader we get in our message, the less personal it becomes, the more we get crickets. The more personal we get, the more universal it is, and the more engagement you'll get, and you'll surprise yourself. All of you will surprise yourself when you get in with a personal story and all the comments start to happen and you're like, whoa, I never knew that about you. Thank you so much for sharing. That was so brave. And they want to know more about you at that point. Does that help, Anthony, with the whole, what the heck are we doing here?
Yeah, that helps a lot. It's because it's trying to target the people who might be helped the most, but a lot of people resonate with our stories sometimes. And so it's an opportunity. Actually, you kind of don't want the people who don't resonate to sort of muddy the waters when you're trying to target the people that you can be a resource to or to help. So it actually helps to fine tune your business model when you are targeting the right audience.
I mean, you summed that up really beautifully. I would actually like to disqualify people with my copywriting. I would like people to not resonate because that means I'm making others really resonate. So it's just as important for people to know if you're not for them, right? If they aren't for you versus they are for you, and when they come in with that. So that you guys, the stories are the personal connection. The stories are the way we connect with people. So if you're trying to write a sales page without a story, if you're trying to post something on Facebook without a story to connect to the human you want to come into your world, you're missing the boat there. But sometimes it's so much more simple than you think. It's a little daily boring story that they're like, oh my gosh, that's exactly what I do. And it just, you don't even know that content is all around you all day long in your simple, boring moments of your own life, which are very unique to somebody and that I love, right? I could make a whole story up about Dr. Zora's kitty cat right now. And that beautiful bedboard that she's sitting in front of. And there's these little stories in our simple things around us. The way that I'm just using you, Dr. Zora, because I love kitty cats, but it's what makes you human and personal to your perfect person that you want to come into your world. So let's get specific. Does everybody have something that they are promoting right now? And so could be, your email list. That's a free thing. Just sign up and get my free thing. Come on over here. You could be promoting, building your author platform with your email list sign up. That could be one end of the thing. Maybe you've got a free Facebook group and you're promoting that community. You want people to come into the group and you're building that. Maybe you have a $2,000 program that you're promoting right now. I don't know what you guys are up to. Does everyone have something? And you want to type it in the chat really quick. What are you bringing people to right now? Let me see some examples. Okay. Could be anything, no rules about this. And if you have a question, just shoot. And while those guys are typing in their things that they're promoting, I'm going to make a quick verbal note before I end our little recording here for you guys who are watching a replay. I hope that the recorded portion of the questions helped you. And I hope that you come and join us in the writer circle, and especially for the business writing Wednesday sessions. All right, you guys. So I'm going to pop off the recording now, and the rest of our time really is personal workshopping and coaching of what you guys are working on. It's my absolute favorite thing to do all day long. So come and join us for all the rest of those.